Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the official launch of the Expert Talks Series, part of the TRANS.SAHARA project. We're delighted to have you with us as we begin this journey of dialogue and future collaboration. Just a few words about the TRANS.SAHARA project for who of you that maybe are not, they didn't get familiarized yet with our project is that the TRANS.SAHARA is an international initiative dedicated to promoting climate resilience, sustainable development, especially across the vulnerable landscapes in Africa. Through research and knowledge exchange, it aims to support innovative solutions for environmental and social challenges. Today, we are honored to welcome two distinguished speakers from IGES Japan. Professor Kazuhiko Takeuchi, that is the president of the Institute for Global Environmental Strategies and a leading authority in sustainability science. He has held key academic and international roles, including director of IR3S at the University of Tokyo and vice director of the United Nations University. His work has shaped global approaches to social ecological systems and biodiversity, and he has been instrumental in initiatives such as the Satoyama Initiative. Instead, on the other hand, on the other side, we have Professor Osamu Saito, that is an academic program officer at the United Nations University and visiting associate professor at the University of Tokyo. He is a specialist in biodiversity and ecosystem services with research that bridges ecological and human systems across Asia and Africa. He is also a key contributor to the Satoyama Initiative and the Japan Satoyama Satumi Assessment and has played an active role in supporting IPBEs. As managing editor of sustainability science, he plays the central role in advancing global dialogue on sustainable societies. Then, last but not least, we are also pleased to introduce our two moderators. And I will start with Dr. Daphne Goldahalakar, that is also the TRANS.SAHARA project coordinator. She's the lead chair of Urban Water System Engineering at the TUM School of Engineering and Design Technical, University of Munich. Her research focuses on integrating urban planning and the water energy food nexus with experience in multi-stakeholder processes across India, Niger, Ghana, and Germany. She brings a rich academic background and international research experience, including previous roles at the famous MIT and the University of Bonn. Last but not least, Mr. Gilles Amadou Ouedraogo is a programmer management officer within the Great Green Wall Accelerator of the UNCCD's global mechanism. In this role, Mr. Ouedraogo manages 4 projects which support the coordination and implementation of Sahel initiatives, including the Great Green Wall Initiative for the Sahel and the Sahara. He plays a key role in monitoring the progress of the world's largest nature-based solutions towards land restoration, job creation, and the greenhouse gas sequestration in over 11 Sahel countries. In addition, Mr. Ouedraogo is responsible for supporting the Pan-African Agency for the Great Green Wall with the creation and design of the Great Green Wall Observatory. So, to not further ado, thank you again for joining us today, and let's begin this first session, giving the floor to Professor Goldahalakar. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Anna, and thank you for giving me the floor. I would like to just use the opportunity very quickly to say that Professor Takeuchi is really the reason why all of us are here at exactly this point in time talking about this topic. So I will explain why. Already in the 1990s and early 2000, when I joined his lab as a doctoral student, I think he was one of the few academics who clearly said that climate and environmental change is a very big challenge for us as humanity at that time, when a lot fewer academics were talking about climate change at all. He drove the Alliance for Global Sustainability, which is a network of key international universities to nurture a dialogue on sustainability. But key is the research that Professor Takeuchi inspired through his work. So at the chair of landscape ecology in the Graduate School of Agricultural and Life Sciences, We worked on the ecological aspects, not just of rural areas, but also of cities. And this is a really innovative thing. I was one of several doctoral students who worked on urban areas. So through this work that Professor Takeuchi inspired, we were able to link urban and rural areas, and Professor Takeuchi called it the urban-rural symbiosis at that time. So he is really one of the thought leaders for giving us the impetus, besides being an expert in landscape ecology, and to understand that fundamental necessity of studying ecosystems as a whole that includes cities and rural areas at various spatial scales in order to forge a holistic path for sustainable development. So I'm so pleased that Professor Takeuchi and Professor Saito at his side are giving the inaugural lecture for the Expert Talks Series in Trans-Sahara Project, because the thinking of Professor Takeuchi is really the foundation for the Trans-Sahara Project on which it rests and what Trans-Sahara is working on. So with that, I would like to leave the floor to this talk. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Daphne, for your kind introduction. Hello, everybody. I'm Professor Takeuchi, working at the Institute for Global Environment Strategies, as well as still having a position at the University of Tokyo as a project professor. Today, we are willing to talk about the enhancing resilience to climate and ecosystem change, both in Asia and Africa, and try to further develop our ideas by introducing the concept of SDGs. These are the major contents that we would like to share with you. Next slide, I would like to show about the climate and extreme adaptation and resilience in rural Asia. One of the key things is that everybody is talking about climate change. Everybody is talking about biodiversity loss, but only a few are discussing about climate and extreme on the same arena. Our standpoint is try to combine these issues in one arena so that we could solve these two issues simultaneously. This is a journal that we have been publishing in the last more than 25 years. I'm serving as an editor-in-chief, and Osamu Saito, who is with me, is serving as an editorial manager of the journal. This journal was the first journal developed in the field of sustainability science. We are trying to start this science as a very holistic, and the science need to meet the challenges of global issues like climate change and biodiversity loss. And we are very glad that we could still continue this publishing of journals. So I am willing to encourage all of you to visit our website. This is a background of our international perspectives. This is a little bit old slide, but during the COP16 of the UNFCCC and UN CBD COP10, we contributed a lot on the climate change adaptation as well as biodiversity conservation. And we recognize the importance of integrating the two issues. And we are very glad that very recently, UN global discussion on the biodiversity, EPBES, and climate change, IPCC, started to create a joint report on the synergies between the two. So this is exactly on the line that we insisted in the last more than 15 years. And we try to develop our educational program based on our ideas. And we are very fortunate that we could establish a university network, in this case, in the Asia and the Pacific, but we are trying to expand this collaboration to the other part of the world, including Europe and Africa. This is a result of our studies, and I would not want to go further in details, but what I would like to say is that Asia need to consider about the various challenges, including the socio-economic risk, the environmental risk, including climate change and extreme changes. All these things need to be considered simultaneously. And that is the reason why we started our project with the name of CESA Asia, Climate and Extreme Change Adaptation Research. Next one, please. This is an outline of our study scheme. We try to understand the bioproduction systems in this area, and also we try to understand the social systems and also the ecosystems, and try to combine these three elements in order to establish the strategy for enhancing resilience of climate and extreme changes. And we try to our conceptual framework to the various places in Asia. Next one, please. These are the field sites that we selected. One is Sri Lanka. We try to consider about the importance of a traditional home garden system, and whereas a traditional irrigation system, which is called the tank system in Sri Lanka. And also, we try to understand the importance of the Pekarangan system, a tropical home garden system in Indonesia, and also the Kebun town system, combining of forestry with the slash and burn cultivation. And in Vietnam, we try to understand the back system, combining of the various home garden systems with the fishing ponds within the system. This is a very complex system, and is from the viewpoint of a commercial system, still they have lots of problems, but from the viewpoint of the conservation of a biological system, these systems are quite useful to enhance the resilience. And therefore, how we could maximize the benefit of this system is one of the way that we try to understand. Next, please. This is a back system in Vietnam, as well as the modern agriculture rice production systems. And our way of improving this system is, on the one side, a modern agriculture system try to make this system more sustainable, low input and high output, and quite sustainable and quite well managed in terms of the irrigation systems. And on the back system, as I already mentioned, in order to enhance the economic value of these systems. And as a result, we could combine the best mix of the modern and traditional systems. This is a basic idea of our case study in Vietnam. Next one, please. This is a case of agriculture production systems in various places in Asia, particularly in Indonesia, how we could enhance the resilience while try to maintain or even increase productivity of agriculture products under the climate extreme change circumstances. This is a basic structure of our sub-theme. Next one, please. And this is another example of understanding the bioproduction systems in our case study areas, try to understand not only the bioproduction system, but also we try to combine this system with aquaculture in Vietnam, for example. So these are the examples that we conducted. Next one, please. And the another is the theme too, how we could enhance the resilience through traditional knowledge and technology. We try to correct the traditional methodologies in collaboration with the local university. In the case of Vietnam National University in Hanoi, and in the case of Indonesia, Gajah Mada University. And in the case of the Sri Lanka, we collaborated with Peradeniya University, how we could improve the traditional knowledge, which could suit to the modern agriculture and fishery systems. Next one, please. So this is a kind of the schematic understanding of our SWOT analysis. Strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats are evaluated based on our field research work as well as our literature survey. And we found it out that different levels need to be recognized from household through the community level to the province level in order to understand the holistic view of the way to improve the traditional knowledge and technology. Next, please. And theme 3 is how we could combine the socio bioproduction system in harmony with the conservation of biodiversity. And we are trying to consider how we could strengthen the resilience of the bioproduction systems. And we propose that the mosaic system that's combining of the modern agriculture systems with the traditional agriculture system will be the best way to realize the way to strengthen the resilience. And we conducted the ecosystem survey in order to understand this. And these are the sub-theme 3, bioproduction systems in harmony with the conservation of biodiversity. Based on the inventory, we try to understand way of strengthening the resilience and the importance of a mosaic crop production system, as I already explained. Next one, please. This is a sub-theme 3 of bioproduction system in harmony with the conservation of biodiversity. As I already explained, on the left side, modern crop production system, and on the right side, it's a traditional crop production system. These two systems are having a merits and demerits. In order to maximize the merits and in order to minimize the demerits, we try to develop how we could reach to this ultimate goal. And we finally concluded that we could really achieve the establishment of mosaic crop production system, which is resilient against the climate and the extreme changes. Next one. These are the conclusions. Integrated approach to address both climate and extreme change is very important. And the transdisciplinary framework and perspectives need to be developed in our scheme. And then we need to stand at a critical junction to combat against the impacts of these environmental changes. And then we need to provide timely solution to solve the problems. And finally, extensive collaboration among cutting-edge research institutes in the field is necessary, as well as collaboration with different stakeholders. Next one, please. This is an example in Africa. We call the CESA Africa, which we conducted in the northern part of Ghana. Next one, please. And this project has been subdivided into two levels. One is a community level approach, and the other one is a regional and national level approach. And we try to establish, we call the Ghana model, to disseminate not only within the northern part of Ghana, but also to the other parts of Africa and beyond. Next, please. This is a project area. As you can see, this slide shows the areas of the northern part of Ghana, and we collaborated with UDS, University of Development Studies in Tamale, and WA to develop our collaboration to discuss about the issues on the ground. Next, please. This is a schematic diagram of our research project. Theme 1 is climate change impacts on agroecosystems, and theme 2 is risk assessment of the water as well as the risk against the drought. And the theme 3 is how we could technologically or institutionally enhance our capacity to solve these issues. And theme 1 was conducted by the University of Tokyo group, and theme 2 was conducted by Kyoto University group, and theme 3 was conducted by the UNU group. And finally, we try to integrate these results so that we could establish our resilience strategy against climate and ecosystem changes in northern part of Ghana. Next one, please. These are the schematic diagram showing the process of developing our analysis. It is too difficult to explain to the details, but from the bottom, project site selection is starting point, and the GIS and remote sensing, as well as the field observation, and then communicate with the local people and understanding of the way of enhancing our resilience, and to develop our Ghana models and disseminate this idea to the 4 areas as well as the other part of the Africa regions. So these are the basic structure of our research project, and the more detail will be explained by Osamu.
Okay, next, please. Okay, so let me move on to the how we develop the Ghana model. So this is a definition of the Ghana model. It's an integrated resilience enhancement strategy against climate ecosystem changes based on the assessment of the agroecological, engineering, and the socio-economic dimensions in Africa. And we developed a kind of assessment framework from 3 dimensions. So next, please. And then this is a kind of overall structure of the Ghana model. So in the middle, you find the different assessment the screen. So we assess the climate change impact, and also we run simulation model of flooding And also we overlay the administrative boundary, and we also overlay land cover and land use changes. And we also overlay some of the key ecosystem services provided in the local area. So we overlay those assessment results to general, and we share those information with state peoples and local governments or extension service people, and also business sectors as well. And then we also develop an information platform to contain all those assessment results. And we co-design the Ghana model as a kind of strategy to improve the livelihood and the resilience against climate and ecosystem. And we did a full-scale application of the Ghana model, but we also developed a kind of fast-track, simplified application of the Ghana model and apply it beyond case study areas. So this is a whole kind of structure of how we develop and what is the Ghana model. Next, please. And we also developed the 7 guiding principles of Ghana model. First one is a transdisciplinary research team. So forming such team is fundamental. And second one is creating fora for multi-level, multi-stakeholder and collaboration, including local farmers. And next, please. Third principle is comprehensive assessment of resilience, as I mentioned in the previous slide. And then the circle in the right-hand side indicate how we assess using different indicators, criteria to measure the ecological resilience, engineering resilience, and also socio-economic resilience. So such kind of comprehensive assessment provide basis to generate effective strategies. And fourth principle is establishing common platform and data collection. And next, please. And the fifth principle is recognizing community institutions that they traditional and local knowledge systems. So same as in what we emphasize in Asia, we also respect local knowledge and traditional knowledge to be part of to generate effective resilience strategies. And sixth principle is creating create avenue for cross-scale integration and inclusivity in capacity development. And the last one is respecting local ownership. So these are 7 guiding principles of Ghana model we developed. Next, please. So I gotta skip this one, but each later chart indicate we applied this Ghana model assessment at the different communities in the different regions. So we selected 6 drought-prone communities and also select 4 flood-prone communities. So each data chart is that indicate each community's the assessment result from different perspectives, like agroecological resilience and engineering resilience, and also the socio-economic resilience. So based on these, we discussed and we identified key interventions to meet the challenges of each communities. So next, please. And then, we identify some of the key interventions. I'm not going to detail, but some of the interventions commonly apply, but some of the interventions are designed to meet each needs or the assessment result of each communities in both floodplain, also drought-prone communities. Next, please. And then we also conducted community-level capacity assessment and enhancing resilience capacities. So we also developed assessment tools to measure community-level capacities. And these right-hand side indicate the various categories, including asset management and also accountability, the engagement, participation, ownership. So next slide, please. So this is part of the capacity assessment. And also we try to integrate all 3 themes and then provide integrated policy recommendation in the end. Next slide, please. Maybe I need to skip this due to time constraint. Theme 1 focus on the climate downscaling, climate change impact, and also ecosystem change impacts. This is a method. Yeah, next one is okay. Please go next one. And we conducted climate change downscaling modeling and how it affected the local areas. So we checked that how the dry frequency of the dry spell, and also we also conduct simulation of the flooding also. Go to next slide, please. Yeah, this is also the round hydrological model, and in the future, how the flood pattern changed and the flood magnitude of the flood is changed in the future, and then considering those, which area is affected and which type of the grazing area is affected by flooding. So we did such a hydrological modeling. Next one, please. Under the global warming scenarios, sorry. And then also we did a community scale dissemination of the library. Also, we also introduced the honeybee, and also we promoting the pepper and okra for crop diversification, and also livelihood diversification. We introduced the honeybee cultivation. Next, please. And also we conducted some experimental farming and also climate smart agriculture. We also introduced, and also the borehole construction we supported at the communities. So in collaboration with the local communities, we introduced the experimental field and the land and the testing. So these are part of the activities we conducted at the community level. Next, please. And also we introduced a solar dryer and to improve the pepper value chain. So we found that not only the production, but also after the post-production, processing is also quite challenging in the area. So we introduced a very simple drying system and tested, and then we produced manual and submitted and provided to the Ministry of the Food and Agriculture Extension. Next, please. And also we introduced improved the cook stove construction method to the local female group, and they also became the instructor to disseminate this skill. So we trained the initial small number of the women, but afterwards they also became instructor to disseminate this field new improved cook stove. Next, please. And also we creating drama with village people to going back to what their past livelihood and what the current challenges and how they want to make changes in the future based on our research findings. And we create a drama, and then in the end of the project, the village people also perform the drama to disseminate and appreciate the research findings. So this is also a new way to kind of work together with the local people and empowering the local people, younger generation, and also women. Next, please. And then also we did a lot of activities at the national scale, not only the community scale, but also we did the national scale dissemination and outreach of the research findings and the Ghana model. Next, please. Yeah, this is examples of how the newspapers are also show the result and our activities. Next, please. Yeah, so this is a summary of how our research impact on the relevant stakeholders at the different levels. Please go next one. So this is 5-year, actually 6-year project, and we also input into the not only national but also the global politics and frameworks. So these are also results are used and for the international contribute to the international communities. Next, please.
I will explain about outreach. In order to disseminate our results beyond Ghana or northern part of Ghana, we had a chance to disseminate our ideas during the TICAD held in Nairobi in 2016. And we could have a good number of the participants. This was a very good opportunity for us to disseminate. Next one, please. This is a Ghana model sessions we conducted in various places, including Zimbabwe, Cameroon, Lesotho, Kenya, Zambia, Ethiopia, Uganda, and South Africa. Next one, please. And also, by taking the opportunity of participating in the CBD COP13 held in Mexico in 2016, I introduced the results of our studies during the side event held at the COP13. Next one, please. This is a symposium held at the United Nations University in Tokyo in collaboration with the UNCCD. And we could have a very fruitful discussion with the various stakeholders who participated in this symposium. And we are trying to establish the global partnership to achieve the SDG 17. And this will be a very good example how we could collaborate with the various stakeholders. Next one, please. And also, during the IPBES, Intergovernmental Panel Biodiversity and Ecosystem Services, we also could have a chance to disseminate our ideas during the plenary of the IPBES. Next one, please. A summary of research output. We produced 45 peer-reviewed journals, and also we presented 47 during the conferences, and we post to the media coverage in various occasions, not only in Ghana, but also in other places. And also at the University of Development Studies, they kindly established the new center with my name, Center for Sustainability and Resilience, in order to disseminate our Ghana model. Next one, please. We also summarize our results in the form of book with which was published by the Springer Journal with one of the book series that I am editing, which is called Science for Sustainable Societies. And these are the structure of the book, starting from the explanation of the Ghana model and explaining about the development of climate and extreme change impacts, and how we could understand the socio-ecological production landscapes and seascapes, and case studies in climate change adaptation and coping strategies, and finally, the synergies, internationalization, and also the localization of the Ghana model. Next one, please. Expect.
Yeah, so this is exit strategy. So maybe we can skip this one. So how, after the termination of the project, each university, each institutions continue some of the research activities started by during the project. So this is a bit too detailed. So could you go to this part next, please? So yeah, at the end of the project, we also discussed a lot about the exit strategies to continue, and as a part of the exit strategy, the new center was developed under the name of Professor Kazuhiko. So as you mentioned, next please. So each partner in Africa also discuss about how to, and this is the center Professor Kazuhiko also mentioned, and this center is still working, and we recently had a conversation with them how they continue the activities, what kind of research, and also the social, the capacity building activities they are conducting at the center. So next, please. Yeah, this is also the part of the strategies, how they continue some of the training activities. And as part of that, also at the UNU, there is a center, Research Institute, Natural Resources in Ghana. So they, in collaboration with the UNU INDA, we also continued some of the activities. Next, please. Capacity building activity. And then also we organize some uptake workshop, research uptake workshop in the various occasions. Please go to the next one. Sorry, yeah, due to time constraint, I think I need to skip those two details.
Only one thing, Professor Saito, 10 minutes, and then we need to start to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think we should. Okay. You can you move to the page 20?
This one or this one? Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the, maybe you can skip, we can stop here, and maybe I think we have too much because we have another project presentation, but I think it's due to time. I think we're going to stop here. So at the beginning, Professor Takeuchi mentioned that we introduced SECA Asia and SECA Africa. And then also after the SECA Africa project in Ghana, we also got another funding from JICA, and then we did the study on the urban-rural linkage, focusing on the 2 SDGs. But it's also a bit complicated, and we need more additional 20 minutes or so. So we're going to stop here. So in the end of the project, we also formulate recommendations for policymakers, as you find in this slide. So incorporate the Ghana model into the development strategy, plans, and policies. Actually, in Ghana, they developed the adaptation, the strategy and plan, and they also took some of our research findings and the result in their documents, and also the response to the climate and ecosystem change. So improve technological and engineering capacity and fertilizer manure application, and the income generating activities is also the key, especially at the local scale, and be the resilient sustainable community in harmony with nature is a key direction to be reflected in their activities, and the more detail is described in the smaller bullet points. So thank you very much for this opportunity. I think we're going to stop here and then get some questions, comments. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor Saito and Professor Takeuchi. It was very, very interesting, and I'm looking forward to hear more. So for the moment, I will leave the floor to our two moderators, and we keep going. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Professor Takeuchi and Professor Saito, for this excellent insight into your work, which is so relevant to Trans-Sahara. It sounds to me like we don't have to do anything now. We just implement the Ghana model. No, just joking. But all of this work is so relevant for us to build on. And I don't want to take any time. I would like to hand the floor directly to Jill to put some questions from UNCCD side, because that will be the quickest way to build our learning, and to bring in the key questions also from the audience, that I'm sure there are many. I also have many questions, but I look forward to our interaction in the advisory board for that. So Jill, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Daphne. And thank you especially to Dr. Takeuchi and Dr. Saito. Congratulations. This is a very, very interesting model. And what I really liked about it was that you backed it up with your own experience and the lessons that you learned along the way. So it was very well nicely put together. And it's a model that I think, as Daphne said, we can definitely use for the Trans-Sahara project. In terms of UNCCD and what we do, I had some questions about how you think this model could fit in an environment or in a context that is a little bit more hyper-arid. So in the context of the Sahel, northern Ghana is a bit similar to the environment that you have, for instance, in the south of Burkina Faso, or the north of Benin, for instance. But if you go a little bit more up north, a bit closer to the Sahara Desert, what are the things we need to consider when it comes to water systems and the availability of water and the role that water plays in that ecosystem and in that dynamic? Another thing that I really appreciated was that you didn't just focus on the science, you focused on the anthropological and the community aspects as well. And you tied in the policy, so the science policy interface, and applying these research recommendations at a practical level. So this is really to congratulate. Often you'll find one or the other and not necessarily both tied together and working harmoniously. So the holistic approach is to congratulate. So thank you so much for that. I don't know if I can ask a second question very quickly. That's actually about the anthropological approach and the community level involvement and the face-to-face with the community. I wanted to ask, in your experience, what was the role that ownership took in this process? Did you find that ownership was easy to get from the community of the approaches that you're promoting, or was it a bit challenging? So if you could just tell us a little bit more about those, I think that would be a very great start for the conversation and the discussion. I see that there are other questions coming up in the Q&A, so I want to leave time for other participants to also ask their questions. Thank you. Over to you, Dr. Takeuchi and Dr. Saito.
Yeah, thank you very much. With regard to your first question, I would like to say that we are emphasizing on the importance of combining the drought and flooding in that area. And so in the case of hyper-arid area you mentioned is more on the drought-prone areas, and so this model need to be modified in order to meet these challenges. So this is my initial reaction to your first question. And then about the ownership, I think the most important issue is the communication between the scientists and local people. Local people are having an indigenous knowledge, and they are very skillful in controlling or adapting to the changing climate. But at the same time, they cannot interpret into the scientific languages, so that they could not generalize their ideas to be applicable to the other part of the areas. And therefore, interaction or interface between the scientists and the local people's traditional knowledge will be extremely important to further develop in our project. That is my impression that I could obtain throughout this study project. So if Saito could...
Thank you very much. So yeah, we need to kind of customize Ghana model to meet more super arid area, I think. We tested the Ghana model in Kenya, also the South Africa and other Ethiopia and other countries, but we didn't include such, the countries close to the Sahara Desert. So that will be the, challenging, but it's I think a good opportunity to expand this kind of model. And then second one is that when we conduct survey in northern Ghana, that we always need a local researcher who can speak local dialect and that language. That's also quite important. So working very closely with those the experts who are working closely with local communities. UDS is very good at those.
Yeah, I would like to say that it is our pity that we lost Ganu, who could translate it, our voice into the local language. So he was a very capable person. He's from the local community, and he could translate.
Yeah, the researcher from Accra cannot speak those languages, so.
Thank you so much, professors, for these answers. I'd like to maybe hand it over to Anna, so she can give the floor to anyone in the audience who would like to ask any questions as well. Thank you, Dr. Takeuchi, and thank you, Dr. Saito.
Thank you.
So for the moment, no specific questions apart Alona Mikova that is asking if it would be possible afterwards to share the slides of the presentation, and a lot of compliments and congratulations to our speakers for their amazing presentation. I see, yes. There is now, so Vivienne Gugnera said, very interesting presentation. We tried to experiment some project in 6 French West African countries with Francophonie Sans Frontières. I don't know if you want to comment on this, maybe?
One of our concerns was when we tried to start our research in western part of Africa, because of the language issues, we could not communicate with the scientists, even with the scientists in French. So we selected Ghana because we are very comfortable in communicating with them in English. But some of them asked us why you could not expand your collaboration with the other part of Western Africa. We could not answer. So maybe in your project, I hope that you could develop your collaboration with Francophone Africa, so that you could get the more generalized ideas and way of solving the problem in West Africa.
Okay, there is the Dr. Gundelake, please.
Okay, I would like to also jump in with a question since we have a little bit more time. And of course, we have many questions, but I think one key question or 2 quick questions that I would like to ask today is the one that you mentioned that putting out a new scientific framework is needed in order to enable this kind of research in the first place. So the transdisciplinary research is something new for universities, let's say, and for many researchers. And at least at TUM, we already have issues trying to work in an interdisciplinary way, but the transdisciplinary way it's quite difficult to implement inside university. So I would be interested to know how we can do this and how we can use that transdisciplinary work to strengthen the science policy interface, let's say. So that is one question. And my other question is about the farmers that you worked with. So you mentioned in a couple of instances that the mainstream model of agriculture was the high input, high yield model, and that the low input, low yield model can be more sustainable, linking to the traditional systems and so on. And that is also beneficial for the biodiversity and so on. However, what happened to the farmers when the yield is decreased? How is the impact on their livelihood? And how did you deal with this inside of the project? Those are my two questions.
Regarding with the first questions, thank you very much, Daphne, for your very important questions. How we could establish the multi-stakeholder participation is one of the key. In the conventional way in academia, that they try to first develop the scientific achievement and then try to disseminate their ideas in collaboration with the other stakeholders. But I think that the way that we further need to develop is, even from the beginning of the research, we should invite the different stakeholders to try to think about how we could design, how we could take on-the-ground research activities, and how we could disseminate this activity. All these issues needed to be discussed even from the beginning with the different stakeholders. This is a little bit different from the conventional way of the scientific development of the discussions, and therefore I'm willing to say that even from the beginnings, we need to consider about the multi-stakeholder participation in our discussion.
Yeah, and also actually when we conduct the research in Ghana, the local, not only local experts, but also the local students also participated. And they are also quite familiar with, connected with the local communities. So such kind of, collaboration with young researchers and the students is also the important mechanism to make it more transdisciplinary, to make the research more transdisciplinary. And then regarding your second question, I think that our idea is creating hybrid production system, considering both modern and traditional production systems. And for both systems need to be improved to meet climate change. So for modern agriculture, you need to introduce drought tolerant species, rice species, etc. So each production system needs to improve the resilience against climate change. But normally the rice production is at a bigger scale, and it's susceptible. It's more vulnerable against disasters or flooding and hurricane. So these once it's affected, it has a significant loss will take place. But if you maintain the traditional local production system at the same time in the community, you maybe avoid such massive impact by disasters. So our recommendation is that even though the community maintain the large-scale rice production or crop production, at the same time, we recommend the local community to maintain home garden systems and also the aquaculture and other traditional production systems, so that as a whole, community become more resilient against climate and ecosystem change. That's our approach.
Great, thank you both very much for the excellent answers, explaining the approach So now we have 3 more questions in one in the chat and 2 hands raised, but is it fine if we take 10, 15 more minutes? Is a general question to our speakers. Would this be okay?
Yes,
We are
that's
okay. Yeah, of course, we are.
Fantastic. So I think the question in the chat was first from my colleague Kwajo, who's our doctoral student, saying that what were the main challenges faced in trying to apply the Ghana model to other African countries, for example, Kenya? Was it more of policy challenges or challenges in community engagement?
I think that some socio-political conditions are different, and to uptake Ghana model, we did an exercise. So we invite students from Kenya, Ethiopia, and Lesotho and other countries, and we discussed how to customize Ghana model in each country. So what would they foreseen the challenges and what would be the opportunities for each country's context and how it can be customized in each country. So we did such exercise. I don't remember in Kenya's discussion, but we also summarize these things in the book. So I think that if you revisit, this book is open access. So if you check the book, sorry, I didn't share the link of the book in the presentation, but I can also include the link. And also we published another book, also the Asia version. So both SECA Asia and SECA Africa produce a book based on our findings. So both books are open access. So those who are interested in that, please visit and read specific points. But yeah, the application of the Ghana model in other countries, including Kenya, those also described in the book.
Wonderful. Thank you very much indeed. Then I would like to give the floor to Stanislav, who had his hand raised, and then to Alex.
There is also a question in the Q&A, just in case.
Thank you so much, Professor's wonderful presentation. I'm just curious, I've just gone to the website, the Springer website, to get a copy of the book, but it cannot be downloaded for some reason. Would you be so kind to actually share the file, the PDF file?
I can do that. I can do that. I don't know why, but it's open access. So, yeah.
So I think that we can send Daphne our PDF, and Daphne can disseminate.
Well, yeah, I can send both, yeah, Anne and
Yes.
Daphne. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Okay, then over to Alex for your question, please.
Yeah, thank you very much, Professor Takeuchi. This is almost looking like Trans-Sahara 1.0. So I think there are so many similarities. The only maybe dimension that we are going to add to is the digital component because of the time and age in which we are. But I wanted to ask a question concerning the inclusive accounting system. What you said concerning you're promoting the inclusive accounting system to regularly assess natural capital stock. So in this particular case, how did you do it with the community, the inclusive accounting system? What was your strategy? Because if you have language barriers and at the same time also time limitation for the project, what was the strategy? What strategy did you actually use to get the inclusive accounting system for the natural capital? Thank you.
You mean the accounting system or accountability?
No, you said you took stock of the natural capital. That's the ecological capital.
Okay, thank you very much. So it's a part of the assessment of the ecosystem services and natural capital, and we identify the key indicators to measure the natural capital based on the consultation with local experts and also the relevant stakeholders. So through and also before that, we also did some household survey. to identify the key natural capitals they rely on. So initially, we did such kind of the survey, including household survey, and then we identified key indicators to measure the natural capital, ecosystem services, people depend upon at each community. And then we develop a common instrument to measure the resilience and also to measure their kind of the strengths or what their their life is depend upon. So these are the process we developed, and we using this common instrument of the measure to measure the resilience, and we apply it to both prone, dry prone area and hot prone areas, and then based on assessment, not only natural capital but also socio-ecological dimensions, and then we formulate, identify the key interventions. So that's the process, and as part of the process, we measured natural capital by using multiple criteria and indicators.
Thank you very much.
There is a last question from Hamed Dali that if you want, I give you access to the mic if you would like to ask it to yourself. Otherwise, I can also report it on your behalf. Okay, so I will read it for you. So thank you for your presentation, how the IPBES approach is integrated in the Ghana model. Thank you.
Very recently, we are hosting the IPBES technical support unit, and they try to develop the scenarios and models, and also one other.
TSU of the invasive species.
But anyway, IGES is hosting the technical support unit related with our project, and therefore it is very easy for us to try to discuss with the TSU groups how we could fully utilize the results that we could obtain. Of course, not just the Ghana model, but maybe the way of understanding the current situation of the climate and extreme changes. This is a key point. Then how IPBES is trying to consider about the importance of climate change, not only the biodiversity issues, but also climate issues need to be integrated. And this is our basic standpoint to develop the scenarios and the models. And therefore, I'm not sure if in the final stage they could introduce the name of the Ghana model, but the essence of the Ghana model could be definitely applied in the IPBES assessment in the future.
Yeah, and also we used the ecosystem service categories developed by IPBES. It's a part of our Ghana model. So we also use their kind of conceptual framework and the category of the ecosystem services and biodiversity as a natural capital. And so we also use their concept, but also this result differently because they do not have any assessment of the resilience. IPBES has never done about the resilience assessment. So if they start the kind of new assessment relating to the resilience, I think this result will definitely be useful, will make a good contribution.
Okay, so I see that there are no more questions. So if you agree, maybe for today I would wrap it up here. So because we have to close. No, I see that there is a last questions. I don't know if you are in to take it, maybe. Is Tobia Bura, based on the research findings on the Ghana model, did any of the African countries win grants from a Global Environment Facility or Green Climate Facility for full-scale implementation of the Ghana model through collaboration with relevant government institutions in the environment and natural resource sector? Thank you.
Is it a question or
Yes. Yes. If you want, I can also read it again for you. Maybe there was a. So basically, is asking if any of the African countries win grants from a Global Environment Facility or a Green Climate Facility for full-scale implementation.
Maybe, yeah. It's if we can get the funding or not, but yeah, I think it's also the way to disseminate this kind of model. And we recently met the CEO of the GEF, Global Environmental Facility, in Tokyo last week. We had a dinner together.
Very recent.
So
with Carlos Rodriguez.
Yeah, it's Carlos Rodriguez. So yeah, we also work closely with GEF. So yeah, I think there is opportunity. And also you can consider the JICA JST SATRIPS framework. It's also the funding source of this project Ghana model. So you can also consider that. Actually, I recently got the email about one African country, multiple African countries formulating SATRIPS project, and they are looking for the partner from Japan. And so they got in touch with me. But anyway, I think there is multiple opportunities to get the new fundings using this Ghana model or Ghana model version 2.
Version 2.
Okay, so thank you so much for answering your question. In any case, just as a reminder, if you want to get in contact with us, with the Trans-Sahara Project, one of our experts, you can always contact us through the contact section that you can find on our website project. Unfortunately, we have to close for today, but I really would like to thank our experts, Professor Saito and Professor Takeuchi, for their truly interesting and I would say enlightening presentation. And of course, also our moderators, Mr. Wedraogo, and also the Professor Gundel Halaker, sorry for the presentation, sorry for the pronunciation. So before closing, I would like also remind everyone to follow us on our social media channels to discover the next events of our Expert Talks series. We are foreseeing a lot of different episodes with several experts from all over the world. So please, please, please follow us, and I hope to see you soon. And thank you again for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Anna. If I may take the closing word as well to thank again Professor Takeuchi and Professor Saito for preparing this amazing presentation. And we aim in Trans-Sahara to build as strongly as possible. And all of this work that you have already done that is so directly relevant for Trans-Sahara. And we look forward very much to continuing the dialogue with you about this. Thank you very much. Also to our great audience and for taking the time. All the best. Take care. See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.